Right, so let's discuss about the SSL description. As we know that in the file and the malware policy, with that is not even valid now because of the HTTP encrypted one. So what I will do is that I have installed my one of these servers over here. All right, which is a server, which is the HTTPS server. I will try to access my HTTPS server from inside to the DMZ. Next, what I will do is that I want to check the traffic, which is the encrypted traffic. So what I will do is that I will just implement the SSL decryption. What I want my FTD to do is that I want my FTD to, whenever the traffic is being received, I want my FTD to decrypt the traffic. And after decrypting the traffic, check it, analyze it, and after that, re-sign it. So we will provide FTD with a certificate which can re-sign it. And after re-signing the certificate, it will just go ahead and forward the traffic. So basically my FTD is acting like an proxy. So this is my FTD over here. This is my inside network. This is my DMZ now. So from here to here, it is my HTTP is acting the HTTPS server for him for the inside network. Then again, from the DMZ to the destination, it is acting as the client to the actual server. So for the inside network, the FTD is acting as a server, but for the actual destination server, FTD is acting as a client. So it will start one more session from here to here. And what it's going to do is that whenever the traffic is being received, it will decrypt it, check it, re-sign it, and send it to the destination one. So that's what I want to do now. So let's go ahead and configure that one. So let's go back to the policies. Let's go back to the SSL policy. So now, before I go with that one, so what I can do is that I can go to my PC. And from my PC, I do have one of the HTTPS server, which I will be utilizing. So I will utilize this server, that is server 2. So let's go to the server 2 and check whether the HTTPS is running or not. And HTTPS is running over here. So let's go to the PC now. So I will just disconnect this one and I will say that HTTPS 10.1.1.2. It should give me certificate error. That should be fine. So click on advanced, click on accept risk. And this time I will just enter the Cisco. Now, if I go to my certificate over here, so go to this one, more information, and now click on view certificates. So now you see that it is a self-signed certificate of srv2.sysable.com. All right. So now once we enable that SSL decryption, this is where we will see what certificate which we provide. For example, I'm using the default certificate from the FMC. So you will see that the FMC certificate over here instead of the SRV2. So I will keep this one as the same thing. I'll close this one. I will also close this one. Let's minimize this one, minimize, and let's go back to our FMC. Let's click on add a new policy. I will say that SSL policy, do not decrypt by default. So if you want to block or if you want to block with reset, do not block or do not block with reset. Just select do not decrypt for now, because we are going to define the interesting traffic. On that interesting traffic, we are going to decrypt the certificate. So now this is my policy over here. So if I click on add rule over here, so if I say that I want to say rule number 1, don't worry about the categories. I want to decrypt and re-sign. And now it is asking me for the certificate, which I don't have any certificate. So let's create the certificate first. cancel this one, and I can go to the object and go to the object management. And over on the left hand side, you do have the PKI. And over here, you have certificate enrollments. So I don't think so in the certificate enrollments. It should be the internal CS, because I want my FMC to act as a internal CA. So let's discuss about how the connection will work now in detail first. Even though my FTD is decrypting, so what is going to happen is that this is my FTD over here and the inside network and the DMZ. So whenever the traffic comes in, it will see that FTD knows that it has to decrypt the traffic. So it will send it to the FMC saying that I want to decrypt the traffic. SMC will send him the certificate saying that use this certificate. So which we are going to create now. So once we use these default self-signed certificate, which is being signed by the FMC, now FMC is acting as a certificate authority here now. Currently, my PC does not trust the FMC, neither my router trusts the FMC. So still we are going to get, whenever I say that HTTPS : 10.1.1.2, still I will see the certificate error. But after the decryption, the certificate error, if I open that certificate, instead of seeing that srv2.sysable.com certificate, I will be seeing my fmc.sysable.com certificate. So this implies that whenever the traffic is being received to the FTD, FTD is using this certificate to decrypt this traffic and using the same certificate to encrypt and send it to my destination server. So let's go ahead and configure now. So if I click on internal CA, generate internal CA, and I will give a name as the FMC, and country name I will say EU, state will be TAS, will be Hobart, organization I will select the Sysable, unit will be same Sysable, common name will be fmc.sysable.com. This is what it will show up on the certificate. So generate the self-signed CA. So now I'm going with the easy method, but if you are interested in getting the certificate from the certificate authority, yes, you can get it. So let's discuss that one scenario also now. So this is my FMC and this is my FTD connected to the inside network, and this might be the outside and this might be the DMZ. So what I will do is that I will go to the Microsoft. So I will click on generate CA, provide the details and click on generate CSR. So I will take the CSR and I will go to Microsoft and I will ask Microsoft to provide me with a subordinate certificate. So subordinate certificate means it has the authority to sign the certificates. So once I get the subordinate certificate, that certificate will be installed in my FMC. And that particular certificate will be selected in my rules. This time it has been signed by the Microsoft. This server is my internal PC, which is the Windows PC, which will recognize it is signed by the Microsoft. So it will not show me any certificate error whenever I say that HTTPS so and so and so. So this certificate error will not be shown over here because my PC trusts the root CA now. So currently this is my internal FMC, which is acting as a CA. So my PC does not trust that certificate. I need to manually install in my PC. Then only it will trust that certificate. So let's go ahead and see. You see that my certificate is being generated. So let's go to the policy, SSL policy. And now click on edit. And next I will create the rules now. So click on add rule. And I will say that rule 1, I want to decrypt and resign. And this time you see that I do have the self-signed certificate which I generated. Now the interesting traffic will be the source will be the inside, destination will be the DMZ. And the networks can be any. I will select any. And I'm not detecting any users. I'm not detecting any ports. For the ports, what I would do, the destination ports will be HTTPS because that's what we are going to do. I'm not looking for any certificate, no status, nothing. Click on logins and select log at the end of the connection. That's what I'm able to see. So currently the rules, the traffic which is going to match is the inside. Source is the inside, initiated from the inside going to the DMZ. Network can be any, and the ports will be HTTPS ports, that is 443. Then when this traffic is matched, is going to decrypt the traffic, check it, analyze it, and it is going to reassign the traffic. So click on add. Now click on save. Now let's go back to the access control policy again, and we will assign it to the policy itself. Now SSL policy, it will be applied to the whole policy. So I will click on over here. You see that identity policy, not the identity, sorry. It should be SSL policy. It says none. So click on that one. And I should have my SSL policy, which I created now. So click on OK and click on save. So currently there is a default policy which says that inside to DMZ to inside, bidirectional traffic is allowed to all the ports, the HTTPS, DNS ports, ICMP and HTTP. So I will go ahead, deploy and click on deploy and deploy and deploy. Right, so my FMCs are like little bit heavy now, so that's why it's running slow. And also you see that when I deploy the policy, it shows me this red color sign. So this red color sign indicates that the SSL policy is in place that might disrupt the traffic. So that is the indication of that one. So whenever you see that this red color sign, this means this policy is going to disrupt the policy for a while, and after that it's going to implement. All right, so let's go to the PC now. So I will come back to the PC. Also, let's go back to my browser. So last time it was showing me this certificate. So I will go back here and I will just erase the history so that it doesn't serve me from the, what do we say, cache. Okay, all done now. This time again, I will say that HTTPS 10.1.1.2. And you see that it's taking time now this time. And it is a router. So let's go back to the analysis. And if I go back to the events, still it is loading. Right, it's not making the connection. 10.1.2, this is the one. Inside to DMZ port number, this one. And we do not see Let me try once again. And also I will check whether this server is, it is a router, so it might not accepting that one. So that's why it might be giving me a problem. Let me see if I'm running the HTTP server over here or not. And default that should be click on browse. Issued to cysable.com. Okay, that's fine. Yep, I will do one thing. I will use this my Windows server instead of that one. So I will say that it should be HTTPS. And before that one also, I will make sure that it is pinging to the right IP address, that is 10.1.1.3. Yep, that's fantastic. So I will go ahead and I will say that cysable.com. And now you see that, so with the router, it might not be working, but let's go to here, go to the connection, go to more information, click on view certificate. And this time you see that the certificate which it is using is fmc.sysable. So my PC is, so what I did was, it was the FTD, this was the inside PC, and this was the DMZ. So before it was router, when I was trying to make a connection, it was not happening. But after that, I did have my Active Directory over here, so which is now acting as the HTTPS server, and the certificate over here is sysable.com. So certificate is been issued and the certificate authority is sysable.com. So if you want to verify that one, I can show you also. So if I go back to my, over here, I will click on this one. So it should open here. So let's go back, connect it, go to the certificate, view certificate, and now you see that issued to sysable.com, issued by sysable.ca. But if I go to my PC now, over here you see that issuer name. So issued by, the here issuer name is sysable.ca, but here you see that the issuer name is fmc.sysable.com. Right, the subject name is sysable.com. It is been issued, but the issuer name, you see that it has changed from sysable-ca to fmc.sysable.com. So now if I go back to my, here you see that if I go back to connection with application detail this time, I should see that event, it has been re-signed, decrypted and re-signed. And you see that 10.1.1.3. Okay. All right, nothing. Go back to table view of connection events. So over here, I should see that it says re-sign. All right, you see here, decrypt and re-sign over here. Okay, where is that? This here it is, decrypt and re-sign. And before also, I was trying to communicate with 10.10.2. I think at that time also it should be decrypting. Because of the router, it might not be doing, but you see that when I have the actual server on the other end, it is now decrypting and re-signing the traffic. All right, so I hope this was informative for you and thank you.